Hi everybody, I am so sorry that it took me so long to actually do this video because I know I promised you guys this video a while back, but at this point I am literally going non-stop and working pretty much every single day, and it's crazy. Super busy. It's not an excuse, but when I come home, I just crash and go to sleep, which is like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm up next day and off I go. That's the life in LA for now. But what I wanted to talk to you about today is how to distinguish that your bracelet is an authentic one, and just kind of little differences between the authentic things that I have seen from Pandora when I'm talking about a bracelet, and some of the fake ones that I have seen while I worked at Pandora. So the video is real versus fake, and I will tell you that the beginning of all of the things that I have found that were wrong with the bracelet came from me knowing the bracelet literally inside and out. Because I was in the store, I was playing with it every single day. I was custom designing different things for the videos and also for the people that were coming in. So I really got to know the bracelet probably inside out, if that was possible, because there's no inside to this bracelet. But I looked at this bracelet day and night, and this is what I would suggest for you guys to do. Most of you already have a bracelet, and if you don't, just go to the store and look at the bracelet for a long time, especially if you go on the off hours. Just look at it. If you're thinking of purchasing your Pandora bracelet somewhere else, which I would not recommend. I did have a client come in. She got her bracelet in Italy. Oh, something is tickling me. In Italy, and she paid $30, so it was like, I don't know what, 20 euros or something like that, on the street. I mean, this is so obvious, but she had no idea. Her mom actually got it for her, and then when she got to the hotel, she was like, oh my God, I got you a Pandora bracelet. And I inspected it, and I didn't really even need to get really deep into it because it looked super fake. It was really bad, and one of the first things that I noticed from that bracelet and a lot of the bracelets that come in that are not real is the places that you will have the clips, and they look kind of like a little grid, and that's where the you can like get a thread on like that. So these little stationary positions are stationary. They do not move at all. The only reason why they will move is if you want to take them off, and one of the Pandora associates can actually take them off for you, but I would not recommend that. I had only one client. She just hated them for some reason, and she really just didn't want to listen to why they're there, and I think she was, I don't know, maybe in a bad mood or whatever. So we did remove them, telling her that it will void the warranty. So just know that. But on the fake ones, these little things will be moving, and you can place them anywhere, and they usually have a very different look. Like when you look close, it has like two threads almost all the way around, and then kind of like a half right here when it starts. So, but usually it has two. Some of the fake ones will have just one or three, and they're going to be separated a little bit further, and I'm giving you guys like the inside, not just like the gist that every single bead has to have 925 on an ale because that's the owner's initials. So look for that. I just wanted to go a little bit further so you guys don't get fooled and you really know the product. But the simple things, I am sure that you know that every single clasp has to have a Pandora writing on there. But like I said, I just want to go further. And sorry if I'm rambling. My head is literally full of thoughts. So, but I will try to get as much information as I possibly can remember for this video. So another thing that I want to tell you is clasp. The clasp supposed to be kind of loose. It almost like I had a couple clients come in saying that, oh, it might be fake because it's just really kind of flimsy and it's not stationary. And they had one side fairly stationary, and it was like really tight, almost mounted to one side, and it was not a genuine Pandora. when we saw other things that were not really correct with the lettering. It's really easy to compare the fake one and the real one next to each other, and you can just really see the difference without examining it, because they can't really create an exact replica. So if it does look like an exact Pandora bracelet when you take it to the store, if you bought something online or something like that, most likely it is a real Pandora. But the other ones, if you're really good at that child's game where you put two pictures and you have to find like 10 or 20 differences, oh my god, I was so good at it. I think that's why I can identify a fake Pandora fairly fast. So on the clasp, the gold one is going to be empty. So there's no black lettering inside because it's not going to get oxidized. It is gold, so it's not silver. Just think common sense. It's not going to get dark. Some of them will paint it black, not thinking that it's not silver, it is gold. And on the silver one, it will naturally oxidize to the dark Pandora, and you'll be able to see. Also, kind of keep in mind the size of Pandora and where the clasp is positioned in comparison to the letter. So PAN is going to be on its own, and it's kind of like medium stamping. They're not identical, so one is a little bit thicker like the A, and then P is a little bit smaller, and then D is a little bigger. But some of the ones that I got, they were literally from where my nail is to the other side. The letter was just so huge, and the letter one was really close, but it was just really, really big or really, really small. Also, like, I know this is so detailed, but I hope this is really useful for you. PAN and all of the other letters have a very similar gap between of them, and that's another thing to look for. It's just going to be more unified. When you look at every brand, it's usually very similar, like Versace or Armani Exchange or whatever. It's going to have very similar gaps in between every single letter. So the fake ones, they don't really look at all those tiny little details, so they will flap them everywhere, and the letters are going to look all over the place. Also, on the O, there's always a little crown, even though it's really hard to see here, but there will be a crown, and if there's no crown, most likely it is fake, because Pandora is not going to release anything that is their signature without a crown. So if you don't see that crown, it is probably fake. On the leather one, the main thing on the leather is the weaving, because it's kind of like a braid, and like a really interesting braid that I think it's really hard to see. Oh my god, for the first time my nails are kind of shorter because I broke a lot of them. But the ones that I saw, they were more of a solid cord. It kind of reminded me of maybe like a shoelace, like a leather shoelace, which is solid, or a lariat, because maybe they saw a lariat and they're like, oh, the leather bracelet looks exactly the same, so I'm just gonna make like an imitation, and it's not like that. It is a really tight weave where the color is kind of all the way through, but it's a very, very different weave, and if you've never seen it close before, here it is. It's I don't know what do you call it, but it's definitely kind of like a weavy braid. I'm not quite sure. I have no idea how to recreate this, and I'm sure it's pretty difficult, so that's why they just made like a shoestring or whatever. So that is it for the leather bracelet, and it's going to be also the same kind of like loose, sorry, and also going to feel almost like, you know, it can break, but it's just allows the head of the bracelet to move freely, and that's how it has to be. It's not going to be flimsy. It's perfect, so don't worry about it. I have very rarely had people come in and say that, oh my god, my bracelet broke. It's very solid. So, and also, but I mean, it's the same thing for the leather or for the gold one, so, or the two-tone silver one. Also count how many of the grids are on this side. So there's going to be three on one and three on another. So if you see something that is short like that, kind of like this part, it's probably going to be fake. The reason why they did this one a little bit longer is that's where goes those clips that have a chain at the end. So nothing else is going to fit here but the chain. So if your clips, the normal clips, can fit right next to the Pandora closure, it means that your bracelet is fake, because that is not how any Pandora bracelet works. I have never seen a normal clip fitting right here. So that's another really distinct and really bright thing, but you're probably not going to know that as well. Another thing that I want to say, the main difference actually between, well, I mean, they're kind of similar. The other thing that I want to say is, as far as your charms go, I mean, there's so many different things that can happen, and like your Buddha can look very similar, but just go to the store and compare them to the actual real one. Don't look at the picture, because it's kind of hard sometimes to say. But if you're on your clips are looking for the 925 stamp for the silver and the ale, which is Pandora signature stamp, good luck with that. You're not going to find it. And don't be scared, because all of the real Pandora ones, stamps like that on the clips, are inside. And it's really hard to see because the inside is usually dark and dusty. It's not as polished as the outside. But most of the clips, if not all of the clips, 100% of them, are going to have that stamp on the inside. So don't freak out and check out your clips, and you will see that all of them are on the inside. What else? I mean, I can go probably in the detail of the class, but it's really obvious. We had so many of them. Oh my God, I'm already on 12 minutes. We had so many of them come in a different shape. I mean, if it's an octagon, if it's a circle, if it's anything else but this, and I just feel like for me it's really, really obvious, and I'll do it on the silver one, that a Pandora clasp has to look like this. We did have a round one that looks kind of like my bracelet, and it had Pandora there. Everything else was kind of good, but that is not a Pandora clasp. And if you don't notice those things, if you don't have like a really detailed product knowledge, it's going to be kind of hard to spot. But bring it to a Pandora store. I'm sure people can identify a fake one versus a real one. That's what we did for a long time. And then also, if it's, I think it's like an octagon or whatever. I hope I'm saying it correctly. It's from another brand, and the one that has the shoe, kind of the horseshoe thing. So the manufacturer was probably like, oh, nobody's going to notice, it's exactly the same thing, but it really isn't. So when you know Pandora brand, you know that that is not Pandora, but then they will put Pandora on it, and it didn't work. So what else? Oh my God, I might be forgetting some important things that I wanted to talk to you about, but I might do another video. But for now, I think that is as much information as I can possibly tell you. And just make sure that there's a stamp 925 and it's silver. But when you get a fake, you'll probably find out after a little bit, even if it's a really, really good fake one, if it's not a silver, it's going to turn green, it's going to make marks on your bracelet, and just things happen, especially when you're buying like 5 beads for $20 or $50 even, or even $70. It's really sketchy to me. So I know some of them are expensive, but wait until the promotion happens and then go buy them. I know it's a collection and you want to get all of them at the same time, but just kind of patience, and patience. It's so much fun, and I want every single one of you to have a real, authentic Pandora one. So I hope this video helped, and I wasn't rambling too much, and I'm so sorry that it took me forever, but thank you guys for all of your support and all of the text messages and Facebook comments that you guys leave in, and all of the comments here. And I really appreciate every single subscriber and everybody who's watching my videos. So if you have any questions, please just leave me a comment underneath, and I will be more than happy to answer any of your questions and do a video response if needed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!